Welcome back to this month's Composer Spotlight on Johann Sebastian Bach. Let's pick up where we left off. Bach is currently working as an organist in a city in Germany. Later on in 1707, he also began working in another city, Thuringia. This is where he got married, and also where he wrote several church cantatas. Cantata just meant in Bach's time something sung, not played. These were based on biblical and chorale texts, and not really the modern Italian operatic forms that were to appear in Bach's later cantatas. By 1714, Bach had become concertmaster at the court of Weimar, court organist, and a member of the orchestra. So on top of him already being an amazing organist in so many cities, Bach was also good at playing the violin and viola, which was what he preferred so that he could be in the middle of the harmony. He also liked to play those instruments because he was able to lead the orchestra more easily than he would have if he were playing the organ or harpsichord. So as well as doing that, his job also included writing an entire cantata every month. This is also where a funny story took place. 2 years after his arrival, the musical director left, and the position was open for a new director. But to Bach's frustration, he didn't get the job. The son of the previous director did instead. So Bach figured he could just go to Cothen and get a better job there. But when he announced his plans, the Duke at Weimar didn't want him to leave. Events escalated so that Bach actually ended up imprisoned for a month because of how much the Duke wanted to keep him at his court. But eventually Bach was released, and I suppose the Duke ended up letting him go because he went straight to Cothen after that. It was at Cothen that Bach worked on a lot of chamber music, including his sonatas for violin and works for unaccompanied cello. Remember cantatas? Those are pieces that are sung. Sonatas are basically the opposite. It was their word for a piece that was played instead of sung. These were usually played by small instrumental groups and sometimes by solo instruments. Some of the sonatas that Bach wrote are so good that they're still played very often today as part of a musician's standard repertoire. Bach's cello sonata is probably heard all over the world. It's called Cello Suite No. 1 in G major prelude, and if you listen to it, you'll probably be surprised that you've heard it before. Since then, Bach's pieces that were originally written for a specific instrument are often rearranged for a different instrument. For example, this piece is also often heard on the guitar. So listen to it both on cello and guitar and compare how you like it in both versions. And for violin, one of his most popular works are the sonatas and partitas for solo violin, which is a set of 6 works. My sister, who's in violin studies currently, recommends listening to Violin Sonata No. 1 in G minor and listening to the fugue, which is the second movement. Because of the way that the violin is set up and played, with the strings on a rounded bridge and the bow being drawn across them, chords can be very difficult and messy. So by writing so many chords into the piece, Bach is basically forcing the violinist to really struggle and work hard to get the instrument to do what Bach has written. So when you're listening to it, remember that only one person is playing all of those notes. It's really hard to believe because so many lines and notes are happening at the same time. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.